crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadtoroot.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. Let's talk about Congress bailing out more things, more people, more places, more businesses. There's a need for a lot more bailouts. I just heard HSBC, one of the banks that's gotten these trillions of dollars in bailouts, is gonna axe 35,000 people. And the insanity of what is going on, the banks are highly levered, making crazy risky bets. Goldman Sachs made $1 billion on oil going negative 40. But they're getting bailed out. They're all getting bailed out behind the scenes because the Fed is buying their toxic assets. So they go place a bet. They find the most crazy asset possible that pays them all up front. They do the deal, and then they sell that asset to the Fed. That's how bailouts happen these days at the banking system. It is insane. It is ridiculous. It's pathetic. And it's not working. That's the other thing. The Fed keeps giving money away. Congress keeps giving money away. Everybody's throwing money every which way. But the problem is we weren't built on a sound foundation. The economic system, the stock market, the bond market, everything was built on this false foundation. It's quicksand. It's 100% required market rigging throughout every industry on every exchange. That's how we built the greatness of the American market. Of course, everything's going to fall apart when things start going sideways. And there's no amount of money that can be thrown at this mess because it was not built on a solid, sound foundation. If it was, in 2008, we would have let everybody go bankrupt who made bad bets. Yes, that includes people. Your individual Joe should not be in the stock market risking their money on stocks that are rehypothecated. It's coming down to the individual. The battle between the good guys and bad guys is absolutely real. But the deciders, after the battles are over, there will be no deciders. You got to take care of yourself and your community and your family. We're going to get through it. It's just the new world will look completely different. You won't have the nanny state. You won't have police departments all over the place protecting you. You're going to have to learn to protect yourself. You won't have these crazy markets. They won't even be around unless there's major reform in our capital markets, in any exchanges, as in completely decentralized because no one's going to trust anybody. That's the kind of major reform that could have been possible. They could have used Veritasium, injected it into the stock markets and gone forward from there, but they decided not to. They decided to treat Reggie Middleton very, very poorly. And yes, the SEC is 100%. I didn't even want to say it. It'd be race baiting. Is it just coincidence that Reggie Middleton is black and he was absolutely attacked by the SEC? There is racism in Wall Street like you would not believe. I read the report. I read the filings that the SEC filed. Read them. Did they attack anyone like they did Reggie Middleton? It was completely racist. And I'm not one to just throw out that word for, at the drop of a hat. Go back and read those filings. Reggie, you should sue him. I know you don't want to take that fight because nobody ever wins that fight. You can't beat Wall Street in the courts because the judges are all bought and paid for. But that was pathetic. Anyway, we could have used Veritasium, stuck it into the exchanges, and it would have not been seamless, of course, because there's so many shares that are rehypothecated, but it would assure peer-to-peer transactions. That if you have a share of Apple computer that you want to sell me and I want to buy it, there's nobody else has that share. Nobody else could do that trade. It's peer-to-peer transaction. That's what would have fixed the problem. Will sanity reign? I doubt it. But if it does and they implement Reggie's solution, Veritasium's lottery ticket. Will it happen? I don't know. All right, but let's look at the latest attempt at giving the banksters money. Remember, any money that goes out there and that the Fed issues, that the Fed uses, Congress uses, any of it goes into banking pockets first. Everybody is required to get their PPP money through the bank. And what does the bank do with that? Oh, yeah, we're having problems here, we're problems there. They're using it to plug other holes. Remember, every time a bank gets $1 million, they leverage it up to $10 million. They can think they can make some quick money and then give the people a little bit of it. That's the world we live in. So yeah, the fight between good and evil, the good guys versus bad guys, is going on. I do think the good guys will win, but the good guys don't have a solution. Nobody has a solution to what happens after the crash. And I've talked about this for a long time. It's going to come down to the individuals. There'll be no authority to make any decisions. No one's going to trust Steve Mnuchin, the IMF, the World Bank, because everything's going to go. GOP senators balk at Trump's $1 trillion infrastructure bill. Senate Republicans are pushing back against Trump's $1 trillion infrastructure spending push, warning, quote, it's too rich and would be a heavy lift for Congress, according to The Hill. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has been warning over a surging federal deficit. Are you freaking kidding me? No country in the history of humanity has ever paid off their debt. We're not going to pay off their debt. This is the first time I've heard this even mentioned in about 10 years. McConnell, you're a dinosaur. Get out. Don't you know? MMT is running rampant. Modern monetary theory. It was true. It was true. Print as much money, give it everywhere. Why? Because it speeds up the destruction of the stupid system. Now is the time to buy gold, silver, and cryptos. Cryptos, it's going to be golden for some of them, and it's going to be the shit for a lot of them. Go back and see who ICO'd. If the company ICO'd after the SEC made their ruling on the DAO, they're going to come after them. If it's a centralized company. If it's not, if it's a cryptocurrency, you're golden. What are cryptocurrencies? Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. Everybody says, Bix, why don't you talk about Litecoin anymore? I love Litecoin. I do love Litecoin. Litecoin will do great when the old system crashes, but when's that going to happen? And if you think Bitcoin's going up, oh my God. The Bitcoin Litecoin ratio's at over 200. And it is going 4-1. At some point in the future, it will go 4-1. The way it was created. So yeah, if you like Bitcoin, you're gonna love Litecoin. If you like Bitcoin, you're gonna love Litecoin. In my opinion. But a lot of, some of the other cryptocurrencies that did ICO, especially after the DAO ruling, they got a long road to haul. At least in the USA. Around the world, most people are not going to give a shit. And it could be that with the crashing of the system, we get rid of all our regulators, which would be a great thing. But I don't think that's going to happen. There's too much control at the regulation side. That's all the Democrats want, regulators in there, corrupt criminal regulators. And the Republicans, they want their regulators too. Well, they won't tell you that. Anyway, yeah, Mitch McConnell talking about a problem with the surging federal deficit is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The federal deficit will go to infinity, already has behind the scenes. If you got a problem with it, Mitch, go talk to Catherine Austin Fitts about the $40 trillion in undocumented expenses that are on the books. That's all that's all they found. And I've been telling people forever. There is no limit to the amount of money created behind the scenes at every country, and they just don't tell you. The Fed How do you think the Fed's paid for their secret space program? They create money behind the scenes and they don't tell anybody about it. Unlimited budgets behind the scenes. There's 2 sets of books. They probably don't even keep the second set, or maybe a third set, a fourth set. That's what Ruta wrote in the sand. Print money to infinity, soaking up all the benefits of unbacked fiat money, and then crash the system. The problem with Ruta's analysis, this is the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston comic book. The problem is there was no solution. Ruta came up with 30 questions that people are going to be asking about what the hell do we do after that? And the Fed had no solution. Nobody has a solution. Nesra, Jesra, it's all bullshit. 100% bullshit. The Iraqi dinar scam, 100% bullshit. That takes deciders, and there's going to be nobody in authority. Who are you going to tell? Oh, yes, we're going to restructure everything so everybody stays in the same pretty much class. All the rich people are still rich. All the poor people are still poor. They're just not as poor, and the rich aren't as rich. It's bullshit. That's bullshit. Nobody's going to agree to anything. That's clearly what the Fed was writing about when I found the documents in 2007. So, yep, there we go. There is no solution. At the end of this game, you got to have in your own possession silver over gold by far. I mean, 90-to-1 ratio right now, that'll go 1-to-1. Silver and gold will go 1-to-1. Why? Because there's 6 billion ounces above ground of each. That's it. That's all. It'll come back to common sense, not market rigging. Silver is rigged more than gold. They have to keep silver in line. Why? Because it is a necessary component of the future, the high-tech future. Speaking of high-tech future, if Trump's little $1 trillion package doesn't get through, then he's not going to build out the 5G. Throw all that money into the 5G network. So the market will come up with a better solution than having the government spend all the necessary money. If we're going to move into a crypto world, you got to build out the 5G. Sorry. I know that it's probably really bad for us. We need to figure out solutions of how to tamp that down so it's not so bad for us, because that's where the future's going. We need massive bandwidth. And how can you do that? How can you have massive bandwidth without the government building out the infrastructure? Theta commercial again. Theta. Theta increases the bandwidth unlimited. You host broadband on your home computer. Run a Theta Guardian node. Now, there's only going to be 1,000 Theta Guardian nodes. And there's already 750 or something like that. 800. No, 750. Something like that. So what does that mean? Is everybody not going to get any? No. There's a Theta Edge node that you don't even have to have any Theta to run. And it can be embedded into every electronic device. Your phone, your laptop, your toaster. And you can earn Theta fuel through the Edge node. You just get a little bit. But hey, a little goes a long way in the future. I keep looking at Theta and Theta fuel because they're gonna run smart contracts off Theta as well. Like everybody's doing smart contracts. If everybody's got a Theta Edge node on their electronic device, everybody can be earning a little bit of Theta fuel. And everybody can be running smart contracts. It's truly decentralized broadband. Could be the Internet 2.0 we've been looking for. Anyway, you know the deal as far as Theta. I've been screaming about it. It's at 23 cents. I don't care what it is right now. I know it's going into the thousands, so I'm going to just pick it up. As long as people are giving it away for free, trading it like it's, like it's free. These exchanges are criminal. People have been asking me a lot about cryptos lately. There's always going to be new people to cryptos. And careful where you go. If you don't know what's going on with a crypto or something you're looking to invest in, one of two things. One, you haven't done any research on it. Or number two, it's a fraud. You either haven't done research or it's a fraud. If you did the research, you figure out it's a fraud. Centralized is tough. Centralized is tough in the cryptos because there'll be winners and losers. The SEC is vicious, especially when they don't want a system to go forward. They are criminal, they are corrupt, they are run by the banksters, the bad guys on Wall Street. I hope everybody gets that by now. So they will be coming after the companies they don't like. The cryptos they don't like. They will be coming after them. Theta, I believe they like. I think Theta's right. The beauty of Theta, it didn't ICO. It was private ICO. And number two, it is backed by the big names, Google and Samsung. And all of them, because they see that Theta is a solution to a huge problem. Biggest problem of CDNs, content developer network. The biggest problem is the bandwidth. You can't have a high-tech future without massive, massive bandwidth. What's going to happen when virtual reality comes out fully? And everybody's, oh my God, that's the next best thing. Obviously, that's the wave of the future. From high definition, ultra high definition to virtual reality. That's massive bandwidth, and that's a solution. Anyway, I can jump up and down all I want, and if you're, and it's hard to get if you're in the U.S. You got to swap Litecoin or Ethereum for Theta on coinswitch.co. They will come to Coinbase. They will come to all the other exchanges in the U.S., just not yet. I think very soon. And then it'll be a whole different ballgame. Everybody will be able to get it. Everybody will be trying to bid it. Everybody will be trying to start up a Guardian node, and they won't be able to because only 1,000 Guardian nodes will be up and running. So, yep. And just to add, let's talk a little silver for a little bit. Again, silver at 90 to 1 is ridiculous. So that's your argument for silver over gold. Is a simple one, very simple one. If you own gold, you get 90 pieces of silver, and there's 6 billion ounces of gold above ground and 6 billion ounces of silver above ground. What else do you need to know? You know the price is rigged. The ratio's at 90 to 1, up at near the all-time highs. Don't buy silver mining stocks. They'll all be nationalized. Don't buy ETFs, obviously. They'll all be nationalized. Get physical silver in your own possession. Even you crypto people should have substantial amounts of silver. What if Trump says, okay, we're going to a metal standard and we're going to make all cryptos illegal? Yeah, it doesn't matter anywhere in the world. It probably won't even matter in America, but it will for price. I don't think that's going to happen. It's un-American to do something like that. But all you lefties out there, yeah, that's what Trump would do. Clearly, the bad guys want the crypto solution for their evil games. I get that. We can take out the bad guys when they commit crimes. Let's go to Bitfinex and Binance and Tether and take them out. See if the good guys win the battles. Anyway, yes, absolutely. If you own gold, swap it for silver. Get physical silver in your own possession. If you don't have a local coin dealer, send an email to Andy Scheckman. Andy@milesfranklin.com. MILESFRANKLIN.com. Say you're from Road to Ruta and you need to get physicals in your own possession. What have you got in inventory? When you're buying silver, don't let them say, hey, it's 3 weeks out. You say, what do you have that you can ship me tomorrow or as soon as I get you the cash in your possession? What do you have that you can ship tomorrow? And finally starting to see the housing destruction. I have been long saying that housing is not an investment. A house should not have been an investment. The only reason it was investment is because you had zero interest rates, cheap interest rates, and speculation. People borrowing money in this fiat system. In the future, this fiat money won't be available. Banks have already stopped pretty much lending for the jumbo loans, and now they're gonna stop lending to everybody, especially the shaky credits after this problem we have with COVID. So housing prices, if no one can buy a house with borrowed money. Sorry. If that's what your investment is, I'm invested in my house. It's a place to live, my friends. I do expect houses to continue to drop all the way till 2035, I think would be the bottom. That's when Martin Armstrong says it's about the bottom. So 80% drop from here. I'm sorry. I know there's so many people in that industry who have gotten rich for so many years. That's wrong, Bix. You're wrong. Housing's always been an investment. No, it hasn't. It's always been a place to live. It wasn't until fiat money got completely untethered from anything in 71 that housing prices went through the roof. Why? Because free money was available, hyperinflation, and voila. Do I think that will end? Absolutely. When the banks crash, when the derivative bubble gets shown to have popped, and it might be the housing that pops the derivative bubble. Because all houses are sold into mortgage-backed securities. That's what they're selling to the Fed. The toxic derivative. So that book is going to poof. And everybody's trying to get out of the cities. Now, I heard housing prices dropped 10% in the last 2 months in San Francisco. That's just the beginning. So, yeah. Remember, the future is not going to be like the past. If you want to subscribe to Road to Ruta, go to roadtoruta.com, hit subscribe to. Actually, make sure you're in the free public road updates on the left side. You get free updates via email. And then if you want a year's subscription with all the insight and Friday road trips and all that, I am giving away a paper wallet already loaded with 100 Theta and 100 Theta fuel. Those of you on the Road to Ruta know that this could be a little hidden gold mine for you in the future. For example, if Michelle White Dove is correct and Theta goes over 1,000, that would be $100,000. Crazy, yeah. But over time, if Theta does what I believe it's being not only designed to do, but helped along, and it's part of the future plan of the Internet of Things, it will be, I believe it's going to be the Internet 2.0. We will find out, though. But I'm giving those away with every private road 1-year subscription or renewal. So think about it. It's Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. I'll talk to you later.